Anyway, guys, you sent me this the other day, and I had some thoughts and prayers to give this video. It's just silly to me. This is one of those things that contributes to like the online culture of like try to cancel everybody in your like immediate vicinity. It's like, oh, I'll put it on YouTube or TikTok. I'll put it on the TikTok. And it's just it's a woman complaining about her husband. Let's just watch it. Here, we'll watch this. Or we won't. We'll just sit here.
I'm going to show you guys what weaponized incompetence is. It's something my baby daddy loves to use against me.
So really quick, right when she said weaponized incompetence, I'm thinking buzzword, because that was like a whole big thing like a couple months ago. Everybody was like, this is weaponized incompetence, right? And that's when somebody in the relationship will be incompetent at something. And it's happened to me before. I've been with somebody who just wouldn't take, like, they go grocery shopping, they wouldn't take the groceries in, or they would dump, they wouldn't remember a shopping bag, so they would dump, they had a shopping bag with bottles in it to do bottle, so they would just dump all the bottles on the floor. That's just passive aggressive, things like that. It exists, but now I feel like when you use these words, it's like, oh, weaponized incompetency, and then it signals something like, oh, here we go, buzzwords it. But let's hear.
Very, very well. Last night I went to bed at like 10. I asked him, hey, can you please clean the bottles, right?
Yeah.
And he did. He cleaned the bottles. They're right there.
Hey.
He also did not put dinner away. So there's that. He was in charge of dinner last night, and he just ordered us food. I can't do that because I'm not allowed to do that. But
I do that sometimes when it's like, oh, babe, can you make dinner? Oh, what if we got McDonald's? Listen, that's not weaponizing competency. I'm just a little lazy. But here's the thing. When you look further into her account, the dynamic is he's the one that works and she stays home. And I understand that can be a very finicky thing, but sometimes there will be different boundaries that are set. So I get how like it's her job. Oh, she's cooking, but like it's his night to cook instead. So he's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna order food. I just got home working an 8 to 12 hour shift today. I'm just gonna order food. Whereas her explicit jobs, from what I've looked through her whole profile, is to be a stay-at-home mom, and there's nothing wrong with that. But understand that, like, I could see why he'd be like, you can't just order food out, but I will when it's my night. Am I speaking the facts to you, or do you disagree with me?
I hear what you're saying, but like my intuition is that like if that were to play out.
What about your in 3 wishing?
What?
You're in 3 wishing instead of 2.
Okay. Is that like it would be like presented douchily?
So you're saying that like you're fine with the concept, but you think that he would execute it in a way that was like a fuck you to her.
Not even this guy, because we'll get into how this woman's fucking annoying.
Right.
But just the thought, I don't know, the way, I don't know, whatever.
No. Just, like it sounds like what you're saying is that the way that he would do this, or something.
A man.
He's just gonna act like a man. It's like, it's your turn to cook. Oh, I'm just gonna order something then, because that's not my job, right? That's the kind of attitude.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like, oh, you know what? Like I worked all day. Like I don't feel like cooking, but I'll order food. Like, what do you want? It's gonna be like, no, like I worked all day, so I'm gonna order food.
Yeah. You think he's being kind of an asshole about it. Yeah. My perspective though is that like in the dynamic, it doesn't matter who's the one staying at home and who's the one going out or working. But like it's her job to cook and clean. And like it makes sense that he would have a day where he would do like cooking, because like I get it. You take a break from your job for her. I get it. But like I could see why she wouldn't be able to order the food, because like he is working and he gets out of like a long day. So I can see why he would want to fudge it, but she doesn't really have an excuse to fudge it unless she's like sick. Does that make sense?
I feel like I'm disagreeing with you a little. Like, yes, if you're like, I feel like the energy that you're giving right now is that like stay-at-home moms are not busy during the day, and I know that you don't believe that, but that's like what the energy you're saying is giving off.
Okay. Good. I see what you're saying. It's good that I'm talking to a woman about this. I said woman like a dirty man, right? I know. I'm happy that I'm talking. Okay, what I mean is like generally speaking, like that's kind of like within the wheelhouse of her job, right? And so for her to constantly go to like, I'm going to order food today, that might be a little much, but she should be able to every once in a while order in.
Yeah.
for dinner. She'd be like, I had a rough day today, and her husband should respect that. I'd be like, yeah, do whatever you want, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. There shouldn't be any resentment over the idea of like, I'm just not feeling. I'm like, he worked all day, but then she worked all day. Well, it depends if they have a kid. That seems like they do. So that's like, so okay, I get that. Okay, all right.
Anyway, he left dishes in the sink because I didn't ask him to do that either. So if I were to ask, and he left a pan over there. So if I were to ask him, hey, I thought I asked you to pick up the kitchen last night. Oh, well, you only told me to clean the bottles, and I did clean the bottles.
So just really quick, to me, this is the outcome that would happen for me as well. I will do the dishes.
I fucking know.
Just stop getting mad at me. Listen, I need to do the dishes, by the way, because like I'm home, and even though I work as well from home, but I should be doing, and like there's a bit of a mess, and like we're both just not wanting to do them, not out of passive aggressiveness, but out of laziness. So I get that, but for me, when you ask me to do something, I do it. Not because, and it's not like I don't do things around it to be an asshole. It's just like, oh, my wife told me that I need to pick up those 4 socks. I've completed my task. I'm not thinking about the other sock. So for me, it's possible he's using weaponized incompetence, but she didn't say clean the kitchen. She said clean the bottles. I would just clean the bottles too. And you want to know what part of it's laziness? It's like, my wife's you are the boss of the home. So whatever you tell me to do, I do it. I don't do more, though. Not because I hate you, but because I'm fucking lazy and I'm a man, and you need to tell me to do that.
No, but that's the thing, and we kind of talked about this last time, fucking our brain, men and women are different. Men just don't fucking think. That's how I interpret it. You don't fucking think. And that's why, and we watch another video like this too, and I do get in my feels about it, where like there is like a balance of, and I'm working through it. We're only in the first 2 years of our marriage.
Okay, but
we
also
have a long way
because
to
I know
go.
the implication here is like I don't do things unless I'm prompted. I've been doing the dishes sometimes without you prompting me.
No, you have.
I still do things without you prompting me. I'm still working on the
100%.
behavior.
But there's the thing of why, the concept of asking for everything, and so sometimes there are days where I want to ask you for help with things.
Yeah, and I'd be fine with it. You just don't.
No, I don't, because for me to sit there, and because you don't, and I'm really not saying this,
just be raw about it. Go ahead.
Because my to-do list might have 5 things written on it, but I know that there's fucking 5 things surrounding that one task.
Okay.
And for me, that's that one thing. However, for you, I would have to write down those 5 things to go with that task. For me, it's a natural thing where I just know, where if I were to ask you to do it, I have to sit there and write it out. And so for me, that becomes overwhelming to the point that I'm fuck it, I'm just not gonna write it, and I'm not gonna ask him for help for it, because I don't know how to writing it becomes overwhelming.
You could write on the list, do this thing, and make sure that and then you could just tell me to make sure I do these 4 things with it. Because, every single time you have, a friend coming over to stay with us, you freak out the week before. You get into moods where you don't want to do any cleaning, and we end up having to do a thing. What ends up happening is that we don't get to cleaning the bathroom. We don't get to cleaning the living room or the kitchen or sweeping the floor or vacuuming the floor. We don't get to tidying up areas of their room. And what do? Husband, I need you to do these things, and they're done that day. I make sure that they get done. So I can effectively do it. I think sometimes maybe the issue is that you don't have enough faith in me, and you don't say hey, you know what? I need you to do these things, and hey, make sure you do this, that, and the other. And if I fuck up, you just be oh, you forgot to do these 2 things.
No, I realize I'm a nitpicker.
That's part of it too, is that you a little controlling over the house. Yeah. And I'm okay with that, because that means that I have to do less work because you're so, And part of my weaponized incompetence is that I will intentionally put the dishes away wrong, so that you won't have me do. I'm kidding. I never do that. But you're fucking anal about the way I put the dishes away sometimes, and I just
Well, yes, because
I've been getting better.
You have.
And if I don't know where to put it, sometimes I'll just put it on the kitchen table and say, "Baby."
Yeah, I know.
Because I don't know what to do. I'd rather not get yelled at.
I love you, but I'll fucking blow your spot up for this. The fucking Tupperware on the top shelf. You just fucking throw it in there willy-nilly when there's no way that you can't see the fucking pattern I have set up on that top shelf.
In a pattern, reasonably speaking. Listen, I do nice things for you as well. Okay, randomly without asking, mostly buying you Squishmallows. Okay, we have different love languages.
I know. I love you. I
love you
feel
too.
like I love
You're
you.
not a
And I
bad
appreciate
wife.
all
You're
the
not
help.
a. You're
I
not
need
a,
to ask you for help more.
Yes, yeah. I know one of the reasons I keep saying that to people don't know. My wife will spiral, and because she thinks you did one thing wrong, she'll think she's the worst like wife in the world. Like you're not. Then I get self conscious about sometimes the way that we talk. We, because you feel terrible, like you do like nothing wrong.
We're also talking on the internet.
Yeah.
Because remember,
What?
I'm a big, mean, horrible wife.
Oh yeah, you're an incredible wife. Let me tell you, very good wife, very attentive to my needs. You know what I'm saying? I'm attentive back to your needs. Let me tell you something. I'm not gonna overshare, but
That means we're about to get overshare.
One of the best things that you could do to bond with your partner is just fuck. Okay, I'm sorry. No, but seriously, those are a very intimate moment. Take it seriously and be attentive to your partner, even if you have to force yourself. And then
that sounds
no, stop.
terrible.
Shut up and let me finish. All right, or shut up. Just kidding. I love you, but let me finish. When I say force yourself, you're not always in the. You know what? I like playing video games. I'm not always in the mood, but I'll force myself to play, and then I enjoy myself. Sometimes you might be. There's sometimes where I'm lazy and I won't do things for you. Same thing for you. But like, there's moments where you got to be more attentive, and you have to force yourself, and you only force yourself for 2 minutes, and then you're like into it. You're like, oh, I like this. It's a good bonding experience. Anyway, let's move forward.
Didn't tell me to put the.
Oh, but like I was saying, I don't think that that's necessarily indicative of weaponized incompetency. It's also can be considered being a man.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. It's not weaponized incompetency. Men just don't fucking think.
Yeah, that's just me. I'm the free thinker because I freed my thought a while ago, so I don't have to do them anymore.
Food away, and you didn't tell me to clean up the rest of it. That's weaponized incompetence.
No, it's
He's
not.
playing stupid to basically win an argument. Don't settle for this.
What
and I'm
argument?
going to start doing videos like this because I can't get out of my situation anytime soon.
This is the worst part of it. Is like I'm gonna do this a lot. I'm gonna put my laundry on social media because I can't escape this situation. That's the implication, guys. I can't escape, but I'm gonna put it on TikTok, and everyone's gonna see it, and he's gonna see it. If he was not to be an asshole, but if he was this horrible guy, you wouldn't be putting this on TikTok. Mm-hmm. Not because that could put you in serious danger from him. It sounds like you guys are assholes to each other. You deserve each other. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm getting out of this.
There are many different forms of abuse, and this is
abuse. One of them. No, it's not. That's laziness. Not everything is abusive. That's just laziness and being a man. It's the same thing when my wife does this thing called chain sentencing, where she just talks. I'm just kidding. I'm teasing you. But my wife likes to talk to me about her day and like a lot of things. And
I talk so much.
It's okay. I like it. Don't stop doing it. Okay, but that's like being a man, not doing everything when you say to do something. I only do that thing, not because I hate things, but that's because that's just men. And for women, you talk a lot. Every day we talk about going to Disney. Every day we talk about going on a camping trip. We talk about your day, of course. We talk about, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. But like that's not weaponized machine gun conversation. Are you getting upset?
Yeah.
Why are you upset? I like it. No, you don't. I like it, and especially because you like it. You like talking to me, and that makes me very happy because we're best friends. Don't get upset. I like it. Stop being. I love you a lot. Listen,
I'm still on my period, guys.
Yes, she is. She is.
Been 11 days.
But don't get upset by it. Don't get upset with that. Because you remember you blew me up a little bit the last time too. But you weren't mean about it.
What do you mean?
Well, just now you were like, I'm gonna blow you up and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know.
So don't get upset. I love you.
I love you too.
I like talking about all that.
I want you to mess up my Tupperware for my whole life.
Okay, well, I'll get better at that. That's a little different, but I love you. Mwah. Anyway, I checked out her page, and like, it just seems like a big, like, it's just give me attention.
Give me one.
It's like, give me attention. Like, oh, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and like, here's my kid.
Wearing her mushroom dress today, actually, and her little bike.
Yeah, she just wants to be like famous.
Good morning.
Look at this. Uh-oh, silly, funny, quirky video incoming. She dropped the cap on the floor. That's how you know, drop the cap, bitch. Stop lying about in that other video.
I went to bed last night until like midnight because I was answering a lot of your guys' questions and like I was texting a lot of you guys.
That's a fucking big ass cup. Is that her coffee cup?
Yeah, too much. Too many calories,
It
girl.
looks like a measuring cup.
That's too many calories, girl. You gotta stop. That
Well,
we're not
shut
calling
up.
you fat. We're not calling you fat. That's just that for us. You know, we got a little bit of the meat there, you know.
15.7 thousand of you guys now that are following me, and I just want to say, hey y'all, hey. My name's Heaven. I'm 23. I'm a state.
Once I heard that her name was Heaven, like now, like I think that it is acceptable to not care about people based on their names. If your name is Heaven, no, I don't care about you. You know what I mean? Keith, no, thank you. Not happening. You know.
Stay-at-home mom. I have a little baby girl named Lainey, and
by the way, I'm sorry for pausing a lot, but like the whole thing before, where it's very real that like there are women that are stay-at-home moms that can't escape their situation and can be subjected to abuse, especially when they're in the very traditional relationships, especially when there's like religious authority looming overhead. Because a lot of times, instead of going to the police if your husband becomes abusive, you know, you go to the church and they kind of just like, hey, you won't hit her again, right? If you do, though, 5 Hail Marys, 6 actually, right? Throwback. But I just feel like here there's a difference between being trapped to abuse versus being trapped due to complacency. And like that's one of those things. She was not afraid of her husband hurting her or reprimanding her. She's all over social media trying to become famous. So if she did leave, the husband would have to pay for the lawyer costs, I believe. And she would just have to get a job, but she just doesn't want to. So she's not trapped in her situation based on what she's saying and the way she's displaying herself. She's complacent and she doesn't want to try and change it because she likes most of it, but she doesn't like that her husband is sometimes an asshole, but she's also an asshole. That's my opinion. But like, you wouldn't be on social media with a viral video about how your husband's abusive and because he only cleaned the baby bottles instead of put away the pizza. Which, by the way, you can let Papa John sit out all night and you can still eat it. What did we do? We had Domino's yesterday. We didn't finish it all. We put it somewhere in the room. I ate it for breakfast.
Domino's for breakfast.
I don't give a fuck. Boom. Okay, you don't got to put Domino's away. What did my wife do yesterday or the day before that? She left microwaved food in the microwave. What did I do? I ate it the next morning.
Did you really?
Yeah, you said, oh, did I leave something in the microwave?
Did you try the mac and cheese?
Yeah, I ate it. It was like some mac and cheese and sausage, and I ate it.
It wasn't too bad, the mac and cheese.
It was fine. Is that the vegetable mac?
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad. Yeah, it was fine. So.
Maybe 1 in like 2 days. No, on the 11th. Flip your chair over. Oh, girl.
Did you like that?
What did you just say?
Did you like that?
Did I like what?
You know what I'm talking
Did I
about.
like what, babe?
The armpit.
Why you gotta out me? You told me not to overshare. I like armpits. I don't know what it is, but as I get older, there's something about it.
Do you like all armpits or my armpits?
I'm starting to like armpits in general, but I really like your armpits.
No, I like his armpits.
You like them for like I think it's a pheromone thing.
Yeah.
I think that's why I started to like them because like I started to like yours and I realized how sexy armpits can be. There's something just weird about our relationship where like there's nights where you smell, but not like because you're dirty.
Oh my fucking God.
Shut up. It's because like it's just like we're in bed and maybe we sweat a little bit and I can smell your pheromones and I'm just like laying up on you. I'm just smelling you and it makes me it engorges me. You know what I mean?
All right, we're getting a little too far. I'm
Okay.
uncomfortable.
Okay, I love you. All right, I love you. Sorry. Whoa, look at this. She hit the whip and the nay-nay.
I don't know if I'm wearing my hookahs or chacos.
These are the shoes my husband beats me with. Like, what's going on here? You know what
Stop.
I mean?
Baby.
Listen, if she's not getting beaten, so it's okay. I'm sorry. That was a little rough.
Fragrance from Target. I don't know if anyone really honestly
Wait,
cares.
you need to pause this video
Why?
because you're sick. I know you're eating bug poop when you leave your pizza out. I don't know where the fuck you live.
We don't have
we
bugs
ain't
in the
getting
house.
bug poop on our fucking
Can I tell you
food.
something though? Yesterday, okay, this is one of the things. We're throwback to my obsessive compulsive behavior and how it's the reason why I engaged with it is because sometimes I reap a benefit and I'm like, I have to be obsessive compulsive. Okay, today I went into our bedroom and there was something on the floor. I dropped something. I picked it up and I'm like, oh, I saw a coin on the floor. So I was like, but I didn't pick it up at first. I'm like, I should pick this up because I need to pick this up or something bad will happen or something good will happen if I do it. So I picked it up, and then I saw that we had a Domino's box under the bed from like a month or two ago with chicken wings that were all finished. I was like, see?
Oh my
God. But the
God.
obsessive compulsive behavior was necessary. So I picked it up, and I went to throw it away, and I was like, I shouldn't open this. And I did. I went to throw it away. I'm like, I'm going to open it, and opened it, and there was no bugs on it. It was fine. I ate all the chicken, so it was okay. Like, it was all gone, so we didn't waste any food. But the putrid smell was fucking incredible. What do you think about that?
I can't believe you just told this story.
But that's why my OCD, I need to do what I do.
Oh my God, whose side of the bed was it on?
Mine. Yeah.
All right, I take it back about my comment. Maybe we do have bugs in our
We don't have
house.
any. There was no bugs in the house. It just smelled. We don't have any bugs in the house. Except for that spider. But okay.
I think it's the vanilla one.
All right, anyway, this is boring
Why are
for
we
her.
watching her?
We're just kind of going through like her wanting to be an influencer, and like this is her thing. She wants to make content. She does stupid shit, like she gets toothbrush paste all over her shirt. This is what she wants to do. She wants to be famous. And what's this?
So the point of that video went over like a lot of y'all's heads because I said I wasn't allowed to order food for dinner, and I'm not.
Oh, what does this say? Why he gotta buy dinner and put it away in my house? If you cook, you don't clean, and if you buy, you don't pack up. Right? The comment's kind of dumb, but also like she turned it into an abusive scenario. So good, she deserves backlash.
do get access to money though and things. Like he does give me money. He doesn't completely restrain me from everything. But no, I can't order food for dinner. And
No, stop. Yes, she can. Listen, I don't have any problem with the concept of an allowance. What do you?
No.
I think that's if that's in your relationship, like, hey, here's
If you're not working.
yeah, and you get an allowance, I think that's fine. Like, hey, you know what? You have an allowance. I give you $100 a week, or $50, or even 20 or 40, because like not everybody has a lot of money. You do whatever you want with that money. She has an allowance. She could buy dinner, but she would rather spend it on herself. She's allowed to buy dinner, but she would, and that's fine. You do you, but like, don't bitch about it. He gives you like an allowance. You do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that seems reasonable to me. But when he gets out, like, bro, he seems like a normal. This isn't. She's a goober.
And yes, I do know what that is, and I have been in therapy, and I know very well the game of what I am in right now. But part of his game was he got me financially bound to him. So no, I can't just
See? He groomed her in some capacity. He got me financially bound. Bro, you could get, I'm pretty sure this is like this. I could be wrong. Either there will be lawyers that will be provided to you for free, especially as a mother, especially if you're in England, but she sounds like a fucking Southern hick. Or the husband would have to pay for the divorce. Like, I'm pretty sure those are true. You could leave, but you'd have to get a job. And what you want to do is you want to be an influencer and make mommy videos. She's full of shit. Bro, this is wild. She's destroying the narrative of abuse people. Because people who are like in abusive situations, like they're truly fucked. But like you being too lazy to want to get a job out of the fear of retaliation, that's not abuse. You're lazy. And you're complacent into a situation. Do you disagree with me?
Fundamentally, no.
What do you disagree with me in this case on?
We don't know what the situation is, blah, blah, blah. But she's being just like dumb about everything.
You're right. There might be something we're missing. But my thing is that you wouldn't be making social media content out of your husband's abuse if he was an abusive person.
Yeah.
I don't believe that you would be doing that.
No, 100%.
Not if you're still in the relationship and you're like, oh, he's so abusive. So would this not make him hurt you or abuse you more? Like, of course it would. Like, you're not, and she's not like, I just don't believe that she's bound to the home.
No, I think that there's like this weird thing going on, and we're not getting in specifics of anything. But there seems to be like a weird interpretation happening of like, because I've seen it multiple times. Again, in personal life,
it's a victim mentality, is what's
happening. No, I'm saying specifically though, like there's women who have babies, and in their situation, it is cheaper, or it not even cheaper. It like evens out, like basically if the mother worked and paid for the child care,
yeah,
it would even out Like they would just be working to pay the childcare.
Sure. Okay.
So it just like makes more sense for them to just stay home and then the husband or father be the one working.
Okay.
And then because the husband or the father is the only one working and they're saying like, hey, like we don't have money for A, B, and C, it becomes like, oh, like they're telling me I can't do these things.
But that's the
and blah,
problem
blah,
is
blah.
it's the victim mentality associated with it. What it sounds more like to me is maybe they have limited funds. But when
That's
he
what I'm
works,
saying, yeah.
But like just not for nothing, but just the fact that there is apparently, she hinted or alluded to a designated night where he cooks suggests to me even less likeliness of abuse. Because he's working all day and then coming home and he has an expected day of him cooking and he just didn't cook that day. So like he's still sharing the household role, which isn't very usual in a traditional relationship. Like we don't know this, we don't know that. She's giving us what she's putting on the internet and it does not seem like somebody that's abused in any capacity. She's a fibber. And she's watched other people's TikToks and it's like, oh my God, I must be abused. No, she could get a job and she could get a job if she wanted, but she wants to do what she wants to do what she's doing. That's fine. But she's acting like it's abusive because he's like, oh, here's an allowance, but I'm not gonna, like, on your nights to cook, like I'm not gonna buy food for you because we need to save money. Like, no shit. Like, also, I think that some people come at this from like a very privileged perspective. When you don't have a whole lot of money and on a one household salary, that's probably the case. It's not like going out to eat. Like we can afford to go out to eat every night, and sometimes we do that. I don't know if you guys can tell. Not everybody's in that situation, so it's like that's not abuse to be like because I was in a situation where I was hemorrhaging like I was like tens of thousands of dollars in debt. We didn't have the money. Like that's not fucking abuse. It's like I don't have money. I can't afford to go out every fucking night. You got to cook. So
I can't start a GoFundMe and get money and leave because I'll break my lease and then I won't have rental credit. It's so sticky. My cell phone is in his name.
You could just remove it from his name. She's making excuses. Imagine him seeing this. There's no way he wouldn't have access to seeing this. At this point, I'm convinced it's a conspiracy theory to just manipulate the internet so she can get attention, and he's like fine with it. He doesn't care. I can't leave because then I have to pay for my own phone. Like, come on, bro. Like, he doesn't control your phone forever.
And he never said he'd take the phone away from me, but I don't know. I don't know any of that. But no, this was not about whose side are you on, who do you think's right, who do you think's wrong. I just wanted to give an example of weaponized incompetence because that's what it is. I don't care if the pizza was still good. I don't care who you thought was right and who you thought was wrong. Yes, there are two sides to every fucking story. I wasn't going to reply to any of the comments just because I was like, whatever, like they're going to comment whatever they want. But I am going to address that. Like, I am not in a horrible situation where I am detriment to need to get out. But there are toxic behaviors that are going on in my relationship.
Those are two completely separate things. Being in a situation that you need to get out of and having some toxic behaviors is normal, frankly. Like there are times where the two of us fight. You can consider that toxic. Sometimes over stupid shit. But like at worst, she's in a relationship she's not happy in. And she's calling it abuse. That's it. That's all it is.
And if I was shown these behaviors beforehand, I would have been in a lot better situation, you know? Like, actually given the examples, so.
Wow. Well, what would you have done? Would you have gotten a job? Oh, you could still do it. All right, you know what? Fuck this girl. That's all I have to say. Do you agree or disagree?
Agree.
Okay. My wife doesn't care about this topic anymore.